Let's discuss another case. A person who understands the power of manifestation, all these laws we have just discussed, opens a bar, which soon becomes full of customers. He opens 2, 3, 50, a worldwide chain of bars. And then he runs his business, with his foot behind his back, as they say. This does not represent growth for him. There is no flow. It is not a challenge. Think, then, about what a person like Mahatma Gandhi does. Will he become the president of a multinational company? After having understood how the universe works. If we manipulate a commercial environment, it will become full of customers. I have several clients who have businesses, who have stores, who have various businesses. You change the magnetic polarity of the place and it fills with customers. So much so that, if a negative polarity is placed, the customers disappear. What do you call this? Black magic. When there is a little competitor who chooses this path, he hires a sorcerer who uses empirical physics. He does not understand physics, but he does understand how to make chocolate cake. You know that when you mix certain ingredients, milk, flour, and you get a cake, right? It does. Every woman does this, even if she's not a chemist. The sorcerer does too. He's not a physicist, but he understands a little formula. He prepares his recipe and negatively polarizes a store. What do? We depolarize. We invert the polarity, and the store fills up with customers again. What's the problem with your business being full of customers, if you understand this? None. Imagine that you have a department store that's full of customers, and you're making money. Money is relative. If you already have all the money you need for 5 meals a day, do you need more, to have, for example, how many shoes? The wife of that dictator in the Philippines had 800 pairs of shoes. Do you understand? How many rooms and cars do you need to be satisfied? There comes a time when you don't know what to do with all your toys. So much so that the daughter of that shipyard owner, who was 33 years old and had $700 million in the bank, committed suicide. So, is the problem money? It is not. This is all a consequence. If there is no foundation, money will not solve anything. The problem persists. If the person has understood this, he needs to have a challenge that is consistent with the capacity he has achieved. How does this happen on a planet like ours? What would be a challenge in 1900? For example, apartheid in South Africa. To face this challenge, Gandhi went to South Africa and promoted the first march from one state to another. He violated all the apartheid laws, was arrested, beaten and deported. He was expelled because he could not be imprisoned there, as a British citizen. He then returned to India in 1912, if I am not mistaken, and said, "I will get England out of here." A challenge consistent with his ability. 30-odd years later, he managed to get England out of India. England lost 300 million subjects, and it was one man who did it. A person who understood how the universe works. What did they want him to do? What was he to be? A businessman, an industrialist, or to go to Hollywood to make a film? Let's analyze the yin/yang issue. This also involves the issue of money, doesn't it? By joining the positive/negative magnetic poles, showing the two sides with parallel hands, a magnet is formed, the opposite poles attract each other. In the case of relationships, the poles are yang/yin. When they are working, a magnetic pole is created, a magnet is created, one attracts the other. If the magnetism is not working well, the relationship lame down. Intrinsically, the man is yang, the woman is yin. But both have positive and negative poles. Ideally, they should be balanced. The man with 50% yang and 50% yin. Overall, He is yang, but a balanced yang. The woman would be 50% yang and 50% yin. She is macro-yin, but balanced. When strong yang and yin come together, what happens? A strong magnet with great power of attraction. The couple progresses, without stopping. If it is the opposite, a strong yang, a weak yin, growth stops. Or a very strong yin and a weak yang, she will carry the other on her back. This yang will paralyze the woman's growth. Two weak ones can even be relatively happy, but in a shack in a housing complex, as they say in the popular saying, a slum. In financial terms, how much can a weak yang earn? 0. It is one of those cases in which the man earns nothing, in which the woman supports him. And if it is a very weak yang with a strong yin, the yin supports the other on its back. However, when they are alone, the yang alone and the yin alone, it is complicated. In a business run by 3 partners, one of them has a good marriage, while the other 2 have a terrible marriage. The business is lame. It's a battle. All 3 of them need to be in good health in their marriages, because they would be balanced, and they would add up. They would multiply. Just like what happens with the telescope in Chile. Otherwise, if only one couple is doing well, the other 2 drag them down. The business is going badly, it doesn't generate a magnet. This is a current drama of humanity. This problem will only be solved if balance is achieved. Quantum mechanics is also involved in this, because there needs to be exchange, E needs to be introduced in order to change, to have a solution, to have peace. When there is balance, the 1960 motto will be achieved, make love, not war. Will a person who is balanced, who has love, make war? Absolutely not. Do you understand? Love is the solution. But it will take time to reach a balance, and to do that we need to talk. Until the penny drops. It takes time, but there is a solution. Everything evolves, doesn't it? There will be a solution. Thank you very much, once again.